discussion or two with my teachers about doing art and math class and science, you know. Stay in school, do what your teachers assign you, you know. There's always time for art after school. You know, I said, fortunately, I was very fortunate. My art teacher in third, fourth, fifth, and sixth grade. Yeah. After school, still like painting classes with acrylic. Like twice a week, I think it was. You know, learned a lot. And then, yeah. And then during regular art class in school, you know, Mr. DeRigo would have us be working on the level that he had us working on after school, so we were constantly ahead of our game, you know, at that age. By the time I got to junior high, teachers just didn't know what to do with us, you know. It's go-go juice. Kids don't drink coffee. It's for grown-ups. Our days are tiresome when we get older, so, you know, we utilize it. You guys got a lot of energy when you're young. So you don't need that caffeine. All right, let's do his hands. I'm gonna grab some raw umber here. I'm just gonna straight up take that. Touch of orange. Why not? Why not? Take some orange. Throw that in there. You know, you can do whatever you want. It's your painting. Do whatever you want with it. You know, it's all up to you. That's the joy of art. You can do whatever you want. However you want to do it. You want to give them giant hands, you can give them giant hands. You know, just try and make them look like hands. And his hands are a little bigger. Try to fill in those gaps. Drop some more paint. Alright. And it's alright, I don't get directly touching that gray. I just painted that gray down, so you know I can always bring those two together when they dry out in a few minutes. Right now I just want to get the hand defined. You know. You see his other hand kind of poking. Make sure I put that in there. You know, it's very transparent right now. You know, the canvas is showing through. You know, but once it dries, I'll put down another layer. You know, everything will become a lot darker and more defined. You know, for his hands. All right. Why don't we just do this while we're at it? We'll just give it a little, very fine lines on those folds, right? A little water. You know, and that's really going to start showing that three-dimensionality here. Put that in there, under his hoodie a little bit, right? Yeah. When you get into those contrasts of lights and darks, and that's when things really start popping, you know. That's when you really start seeing the three-dimensionality there, right? But don't get too carried away, you know. And then it all just turns to mush, or becomes really, really graphic, you know, or really flat, I should say. You know, I'm just doing slight, you know, like I did the highlights with the white there. That's all I'm doing is just little shadows, a little bit of shading. That's all I'm doing, you know, with these folds. Nothing too involved, you know, just where it needs it, you know, that's it. Just I don't have to worry about the face much. Just a little bit right here, right? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now I got these leaves coming out in front, right? But I want to make sure that I'm extending these lines past the leaves. You know, I don't want to have them just stop short and everything. So, right, you gotta think about that too. You know, when you're doing objects behind objects, you know, you want to make sure that those color tones and changes, you know, are consistent. You know, gotta make sure you're doing that. Now, what you can do there, you know, if when you're just starting out, is you can just paint all the way through, right? And then when the paint dries, you just go over with the white, you know, where the leaves were, you know, and then you just have a fresh chromatic color, you know, to do the green leaves with over that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. All right, let's go back to the hands. Give it another layer. This is all about just playing around, looking at what the colors are on Steve, right? Different parts of Steve, and then matching those colors with the brush. You know, coming back to them in those areas as needed, right? As you see fit. This is your painting. Do what you want. As long as you're having fun. If you're not having fun, take a break. You know? You know? If you're not having fun, then just take a break. Come back to it a little later. Right? Don't worry about your paints. You know, you got all these big globs of paint. You know, you just take a wet paper towel and you lay it over. It'll stay wet for a while. You know, come back to it like 30 minutes or so. You know, go get a snack. Definitely got to stay fed when you're doing this stuff. So you can stay focused. Don't want to be hungry when you're painting. You know, definitely don't want to eat when you're painting. You don't want to get crumbs all over everything. So, you know, it's all important stuff to think about. All right. I'm going to get into some of these other areas here. Go back to my yellow ochre. Yeah, yellow ochre. It's like dirt, right? Make sure it's good enough. Grab that. Grab some raw umber. Darken it up. Right. Touch of orange. Just because I have orange in the other areas, so I'll make sure there's color consistency. You know. Okay. Add some more water. Alright, I want to get those certain areas here, those shadowed areas, right, in between the leaves, you know, that way it's just not a bunch of gaps everywhere, right. Let's just add a touch of dark red, Van Dyke red. You notice I haven't touched black for this whole painting yet. Not once. Alright. Like I said, black is very strong, deep, rich color. You know, and it's really gonna pop out. Not necessarily gonna fall back. You know. So you gotta be mindful of that. Use a little bit of black for the laser, but that's because that's the color that they put in there. Black cloth in there, but you can't even tell really. You know, so yeah, put this down as a good base. All right. All up in here. Just so I got the consistency to everything. Make sure that those spaces in between the leaves, are filled up. That's the first coat. Over here too. Get some more water. Make sure I'm filling in all the grooves of the canvas. Checking my brush. There we go. Making it look proper. Solid lines. Because it's cloth, not the reflective glass, right? I don't want to go too crazy with this real dark though, because it's really only in that corner where it's that dark. Yeah, that's really it. You pay attention to the tints and the shades and everything. So that's dark, but now, all right. So if I'm adding orange, what would be the complement of orange? Said it earlier. Not sure, you check your wheel. It's blue. So if I want to get some really good dark shading in there, I'm going to add some blue to this, right? I'm going to get down in those areas. Yeah, it's still a little too wet. So once it dries, I'll come back, but it's, just showing a little too transparency right now. That's the thing, acrylics, you lay it down when it's still wet, all you're doing is kind of moving paint around. It's not really gonna stick. So that's why you just let it dry first. All right, let's go back to the laser. These are good. I'm gonna touch black. Just touch. Yeah, a little too much black. Just rub that off there. All right. Yeah, it's just a little too much. There we go. So I'm going to bring it up to the hand here. Make sure it's all solid. All right. There we go. Now it looks like a laser. Now it's like a laser, like he's holding the laser. Okay, clean off the brush. Alright, so I'm going to let that dry. Let his hoodie dry and all that good stuff. We'll go straight into his face. Alright. So for his face, right, like I was saying earlier, he's got his eyes. They're little plastic eyes, right? I'm going to do those after I do the black or the dark tones. So I'll grab a little bit of black, right? I'm going to grab a touch of blue. Grab a touch of purple, because why not, right? I'm not trying to just, he's got a roundness to his face, so there's light reflecting off it in different areas, plus the hoodie. I want to make sure that I'm showing some depth. I'm going to come up there. Just going to throw down a base coat, right? Some more water. I want to make sure I'm not going to paint where the guys are. Because then you'll be here all day trying to paint orange over black. Right? Make sure I watch out for the leaves. Alright. Get around the edge where the hoodie is. There we go. Now you'll get really used to how to use the brushes, different brushes, you know, in terms of like angle of the stroke, you know, which side, what part of the bristles you're going to use, you know, all that good stuff. The more you work with them, right? It's all about retaining the information on how this stuff works. Yeah, see, look at it. Steve, it's coming to life. Alright, we'll get back to the face again in a little while. Let's go ahead and get to the plant. Oh, alright, so for the plant, let's just go ahead. We'll start with the pot. You know, the pot's made of black, but it has a reflective surface, right? Right? So we're gonna get darker with it. You know, definitely show the borders underneath that lip there. You know, bring it down, but it's definitely a reflective aspect to that plastic pot. So I want to make sure that I'm going to show that reflective aspect. Right, so it's just not some flat looking image, because it's not flat, it's three-dimensional, it's got a curve to it, right? So I'll make sure that that's in there. Plus, also the inside edge, the inside surface of it too, right? So I gotta make sure that that's well defined, you know? There's all these different parts you gotta show to give it depth. Yeah, some of it's linear, very straightforward, and some of it, you're like, oh yeah, there's a curve, and, you know, there's a little rundown, because it's not, there's a light really showing there, or like, you know, it's a darker reflective area really, especially with this. So, you know, like my body, you know, my dark clothing actually is reflecting on that, you know, versus where, you know, with the yellow blankets, you know, it's a lighter color, so that's reflecting off of that, right? So I'll make sure that there's indications of that reflection and everything, whether it be me or the other objects around the pot. Got that. Actually, we'll put some paint in there. Okay, it's clean now. Alright, take the liner, get in some detail. Alright, take the black. Let's take some, mix that around. Take some blue, mix that around. Alright, it's rare that anything's just straight black, you know, in real life. Really. And you want to throw in some color. It might not seem like you could see that color, but it's in there. You know, subconsciously your mind's seeing it, right? blue, some water, touch of black. You know, when you get into these small parts, these small working parts, you know, that's when you're just gonna grab paint as you go. You know, you're not gonna have a big mixture of it. You know, you're just gonna take it as you need it. All right. And you work that stuff in. Give it a three-dimensional look. Okay. I'm gonna add some gray to it for the highlighted areas. So I'll take gray and then I'll add the mixture I just made. So here's the thing now. Whenever you're gonna do a tint, you know, color plus white, you always want to take white and add a dab of the color. Right? Whenever you're gonna show a shadow, you always want to take the color and add a dab of the black. Okay. The reason being is, just like I was saying before, you always start with your lighter colors first. Okay. It's a lot easier. You use a lot less paint. When you're adding, when you want a dark color, it's a lot easier to make that color if you're adding a touch of black to the color, right? So you start with light, then you go to darker as you need it, right? And that has to do with not just throwing down light colors and then dark colors over it, but it's also in terms of how you're mixing them too, right? So, you know, I'm trying to make a lighter version of orange, say, you know, then I'm going to take white and I'm going to add just a touch of orange to it. But if I'm trying to make a darker version of, well, I shouldn't use orange, but you know, gray. Let's use gray as the example, right? I'm going to start with a really light gray, and then bring it darker as I need to. Versus, if I know I'm dealing with a real dark gray, right? Then I'm going to start with the gray and add black as I need to. You know, so once again, if I have a light gray, I'm going to take the white and add a little bit of gray as I need to. If I need a dark gray, then I take the gray and then I add black as I need to. Yeah. That makes sense? Makes sense. Of course it makes sense. So that way, once again, you know, it's just a lot easier to get those variations in tones without constantly whipping up, you know, a whole bunch of paint together. To get the tones that you need, or shading, right? Well, these, you know, stuff you learn when you're working with paint. I'm just trying to help you get through that trial and error process a lot sooner. You know. All right. Now that is basically the pot. It's good enough for now, right? Let's get back to the space there. I'm sticking with the liner brush. You know, we'll go ahead make the highlighted areas first. Alright, because once again, you work light to dark. You know, I'm going to keep saying that because it's really, you got to embed it in your memory. You know, you really do. Otherwise, you're going to realize, that you're making a mistake and then you have to wait for it to dry and cover it up and do it all over again. So, just trying to help save you some time and aggravation. Alright, I'm going to come in with black. Alright, let's get some water on it. With black. Some depth going on in there. Okay, so did a little over painting with the black where it's supposed to be green. Alright, so what I'm going to do is clean off my brush really good, make sure it's good and wet. I got a paper towel, and I'm just going to push away that black paint. All I'm going to do is push it away. Alright, clean it off, push it away. Okay, push it away. Remember, acrylic's a water-based paint, so you just, as long as it's still wet, you can just push it away with some water. Alright, and there we go. Okay, I'm going to take just a small corner, and where it's white, where it's clean, I'm just going to dab it, make sure I got off any of that excess water, and make sure that, because that wet paint can still bleed back down in that cleaned off area, right? Okay, so that's clean now. So we're back to the black. All right, we'll just go back and fix that area, define it really good. All right. Okay, it's looking good. Good for Steve. Never look better, buddy. All right. Let's do his eyes. Yeah, let's give him some. Jawa's got really, really bright eyes. They're always lit up. So let's just give him good orange eyes. Right. Even add in a little yellow. Yeah. Paint's starting to dry. So it's just the top though. Still wet underneath. You just push it around a little, we'll get to the wet paint. Alright, that's okay. We've been doing this for a while now, so wrong side. I haven't been spraying as much as I should, but it's alright. I'm not worried about it. Okay. Let's move on back to the brown. Get those shaded areas behind the leaves of the plant. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Give it some folding effects. Touch of red. Make sure it's wet. Touch the rag a little. Pull off the excess. As you work with this, medium more, you're really gonna learn, get a feel for the consistency, how much water you should be dunking in, all that good stuff. How many layers you think it's gonna take to do certain sections, pull off the feel and effect that you're trying to show. You know what I mean? So Some of you are gonna get this. You're gonna learn this stuff a little quicker than others. You know, and that's okay. That's quite all right. We all do things. You know, we all learn in our own way. You know, as long as you just keep playing around with it, that's the important part. Right? Show his fingers here. There we go. Some really good depth in there. Yeah, it needs some paint right there. Okay, alright. Maybe a little touch here. Alright, give it some definition. A little more underneath the hoodie. You know. Nothing too involved. Definitely over here on this side. Right there. Have some consistency in the shading, tones of the shading. Right. Won't be much. Just something. Just something to show consistency with the colors. That way it looks like all, you know, it's all one piece of clothing. Alright. Let's move on to the plant. Moving on to the plant. The plant's lighter green, much lighter green. Okay, I'm going to stick with the liner brush. Yeah, I'm going to use the true green, right? Yeah, true green, bright yellow, really make it pop. I'll start throwing in the branches here, and they're really going to show up. Put some water on that. Let you dry. Alright. Got a little bit of white. Give it some more opaqueness. Remember what I was saying earlier at the beginning about light reflecting, right? This is when you're going to start using that effect. There. So you can utilize the white of the canvas. Just have a very small highlighted line on the outer edge of the color you're painting, and that's going to show light reflection, right? And that's really going to bring a sense of realism to your finished work. Okay, big one right here, big leaf right here. Yeah. Definitely more white, more color. Check out my brush, got good form, good amount of paint on it. Need some more water though. Make it a little too dry, harder to move on to the canvas. Fill up those little grooves. That's the nice thing about using that clay. coating the canvas with the clay, make a nice smooth surface. So you don't have those little textures, those little bumps. You know, you gotta fill in. You know. Dump out some paint on the cloth. Just got some white. That area there. Make sure it's not plugging in with the bottle. Make sure these leaves really pop away from the glass, you know. They don't get too hidden with the object behind it. You know, they really separate. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. Alright. Now I gotta make these leaves look like they're coming out towards me too, right? That's why I pre-drew everything too. Just make sure that these leaves are doing just that. I'm not trying to figure it out while I'm painting. You know. Give it a good base coat, good light base coat, right? I'm definitely gonna come back and come back with a darker green, you know, get those shaded areas. Water. So what I'm doing, now I got a couple of leaves that are overlapping and everything, and just do a base coat, all one color with this part of it. And I'm gonna come back with different shading tones. Then I can define those leaves better. But for right now, it's just all one big shape. That's the easiest way to do it. When it comes to something like this, you know, we got a bunch of crossover parts to one object. Using the same color. And you can see, right? See what's happening here. Looks really flat right now.